a great weekend. What brought you to Coffs this weekend?
Well, we came here for the HIA Awards night.
Yeah.
And if we were here for that, we thought we might as well make a weekend of it.
Yeah, great. You got an entry in this year, of course.
Yes, yeah. I got one bathroom. It's in the small bathrooms category. I think it's under 9 square metres.
Yeah, right.
Bathroom.
Where'd you build that, mate?
That was in Armidale.
Yeah, right. And you finished that off this year and thought the awards have come around, let's get an entry in.
I finished it off, it was back earlier in the year. And awards night was not even on my mind at all when I was doing the bathroom. And then after I'd finished it, I thought I should put this in the awards night. And then I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to be judged on this. It sort of freaked me out a bit. And then I stopped and I looked around and I thought, actually I went to a lot of detail with the tiles and all this. So I thought, why should I even be worried about it?
Yeah, of course. And it's a good icebreaker. So is it that your first time in the awards this year?
Yeah. I never even considered myself up to being in awards before.
All right.
And all of a sudden I just thought, no, stuff it, I'm going to take it on.
Yeah, perfect. And I know we spoke yesterday at lunch about you wanting to build up an exhibition home in Walker for the market there.
Yeah.
And I suggested to you that'll be a great award entry for next year if we're able to get it.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I actually thought the same thing. If I can get it finished in time.
Yeah. Because we want it to be at that standard where you're happy to be judged on it, because of course your customers are judging you on it. So having your industry peers judge you on it just sort of helps hold you to that standard that you want to achieve. So Ralph and Lynelle, we've been business coaching now for more than 12 months or coming up to 12 months.
I think it started in the February.
Yeah.
No, it's not quite 12 months yet.
Not quite 12 months.
We met you in the November.
Yeah.
And then we started.
So I was doing
full
my
on
rounds with the HIA doing workshops, and we ran into each other at Armidale.
That's right.
And you guys shared with me, you came away and said
that we didn't know how we were going to do it, but we knew we had to.
Yeah.
It was about, we first started asking ourselves the question, can we really afford this? But the question then that presented itself is can we afford to not do it?
Yeah.
It was, we've been 30 years relying on my own wisdom and my own knowledge and just digging the pit deeper.
Yeah.
Our knowledge, our wisdom was getting us into trouble more. It wasn't working. Okay, it's time to listen to someone else's advice.
Yeah.
Someone with the experience.
Yeah, well, thank you, and I've certainly really enjoyed coaching both of you. It's been amazing. What I heard there, Ralph, is the same challenge that so many business owners have. Can we afford coaching? And you look at where your business is as a starting point, and if you just look at it from a purely financial point of view, coaching it's a substantial hit on the bottom line. But then there's this, if I continue to do the same things, I'm going to get the same result. So can I afford not to? It simply becomes an investment in education. Is that how you found it?
Well, yeah, and probably the point was to drive home the benefit, the what we were saying about it. Getting into a deeper hole, just relying on our own wisdom. Back in, not long after we were married, I inherited a block of ground from my father and sold it eventually for 99,000, I think it was. It was near enough to 100 grand anyhow. And after we sold our house in Moree, after 14 years running our own business, we sold our house and we walked away with about 150 grand in our pocket. So 50,000 is all we've added to our savings in 14 years. And I just thought, hello, this is not good.
No, so you sort of drew a line in the sand yourself and said something's got to change, and
we don't
I need
know
to invest
what.
in myself through education.
The rewards outweigh the cost.
So you found that in 9 months?
We can see the potential.
Yeah.
To say that, if we were to end business coaching now, it would be a way. It would be not a waste of money because we've already learned enough to go a lot better than we have in the past. But up until now, it's been like laying the foundations for success.
Yeah.
And I can see the jobs that I've got on the books that I'm going to complete over the next 6 months. That's where we're going to start reaping it. Like I can, and I've actually sent off the invoice for one of them just the other day.
Yeah, excellent.
So it will get better.
So what's the big shift in that 9 months? Are we talking about a
The
mind?
attitude.
The attitude.
The attitude.
Business attitude, the mindset. I don't think like a cheap builder anymore. We were cheap builders before.
Well, can I correct you on that?
Yes.
You were a kind builder.
Yeah, okay.
And so he did things for nothing because he felt for people.
Yeah, all right.
And so he would do things.
And that's a choice. Like we can do charitable things. It's just, I guess, if we're trying to run a business,
The problem with my
we have to feed our family, it becomes a challenge.
He wasn't cheap in quality. He was cheap in price.
Yeah,
to keep it down for people
when
so
you talk
that they
about
could afford to do
the
it.
charitable things we did, the beneficiaries of those charitable things were people that are a lot richer than I am.
Yes, okay. So there's a question around the logic of the charity. Yeah.
Well, there was, there's a serious question about that.
He was raised to be kind,
Of
and that
course.
just flowed on, but it wasn't being kind to us.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, all right. So, Lynelle, you've noticed a real mindset shift with
definitely.
Ralph?
Yeah.
For the better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has that flowed into Ralph's personal life as well, or just the business?
Yeah, it has, and into the family.
Yeah.
So we now, most Friday nights, we have a family chat, and he's been bringing things to that, whether it be a theme or things to talk about, and it's benefited the kids as well.
Yeah, it's wonderful because the things you learn as a business owner is you see your own mindset lift and say, where can I take myself and my business? If you can instill the same thing in your kids, it gives them a wonderful future.
We want them to learn this now, not at almost 50.
Yeah, of course.
And for Father's Day, they gave him a card, and every single comment on the card was thank you for changing and looking forward to the future.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So we knew then that every single cent was worth it.
Yeah, great. Isn't that a beautiful story?
Yeah, the kids have got they've just got I think they're probably going to be the ones that'll benefit more from it than what I will.
Yeah.
They're definitely, I can see
of course.
See potential for them.
Yeah, no, it's generational, of course, if you can set things up right mentally for... We were just talking about your son choosing to do something with his career and really whatever you choose, if you follow that up with consistent action, you can achieve it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I see you've put on an integrity workshop for our chat this afternoon. You decided to take an integrity franchise on recently.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that move?
I'm excited about that move. It's just a shortcut rather than reinventing my own version of the wheel.
That's clever. Yeah.
And also, one of the issues that I've had, probably one of the things that's held me back, is that I'm prone to bending the rules when I've got this customer will be all right, well, we don't need to worry about that little detail with this bit here. And well, the franchise and the systems in place won't let me do that.
Yeah.
So
when you're talking about bending the rules, you're talking about contractually?
Sort of contractually, and a lot of all the systems in place with the franchise, and feeling that I probably need to drop the price a little bit for this customer, and that will actually no, we've got this system now.
Yeah.
And it also allowed me the excuse of when I got the jobs where people still want me to come and work in the old system. Look, no, mate, I'm in this franchise now, and that's not how we operate anymore. If you want that done, then you need to just talk to one of these other blokes. And I'll leave. It's just allowed me to sidestep that market without actually having to say, look, no.
Yeah, all right. No,
it's sort of, it's so that's, and, a good marketing strategy.
Yeah,
and good, just a new face. It was just like...
Well, I know we were developing your own business there for a period of time, and then we looked, we continue to invest in your own branding, or do we jump across and grab this alternative branding which has sort of already got all this stuff here, with that fast track it? And for some people it's the right thing, and for some people it's good to invest in your own.
As you remember, I was negative Nelly to start with.
Sure.
And struggled with the thought of doing it because we've tried and failed it so much that I was worried. But yeah, I'm not.
Great. Yeah.
So I decided to start growing 10, 15 years ago, and I started employing people, and I was a victim of the mentality that a lot of us that are tradies just assume that we'll be good business operators, but running a business is totally different to the trade. Just because you're a good tradie doesn't mean anything. It's the whether you'll succeed in business. And I just thought that I'd be good in that respect, just assumed that I'd be okay, and I wasn't. I failed dismally when I started employing people. It was just at the end of every month there was no money in any bank accounts to pay the bills. It was a massive stress, and it was, in the end I went back to the beginning really. Some of the people's left and moved on to elsewhere, and I got back to myself anyhow. And I was determined never to go down that road ever again. But as my mind opened up, as we started the coaching process, and I just thought, well, actually, with the backup and support and the guidance, I will try it. And dreaming up new projects and new things to do and all that sort of stuff. I'd excluded myself out of that sort of stuff because I wasn't good enough to do it. I wasn't big enough.
We'd always said no more new homes, never again.
Never, so, and we've just, it was just a completely different outlook.
So the reset involved firstly a mindset shift, and then getting a clarity of a new goal for the business.
Being aware that he was actually capable of doing it. Because I think he'd put himself down so much thinking, tried that, can't do it. And just stick to what I know.
Sure.
But that shift made him realise that I can actually do it. And then I was the one saying, oh, hang on a minute, no, I don't think you can.
Well,
but then,
the issue that we had, the issue that I think Lynelle had in this was that all the time while I was doing all the reading and going on, there was a mind shift happening underneath the scenery, underneath the sub...
in your subconscious.
Below the surface. That's what I was trying to think of. And the rest of the family couldn't see that.
Yes, of course.
And they couldn't, and I'm starting to get the confidence back up. And then when I sort of launched out and this is what I'm going to do, it was just like freak out, big time freak out. Like no, we did that before. I know, but it's different now. This is different. We're changing that now.
It's so true. I've seen it in your family, and it's been wonderful to watch. So that. The idea of going back and saying, okay, I'm now going to do new homes as part of achieving the business goal. It's just suddenly the goal's clear and it becomes an action plan in the achieving of that. And as long as you've got a system there to make sure that you stay inside the system, there's no reason you won't achieve exactly what you set your mind to do.
And I've got one employee now. And actual fact, it couldn't have been a better starting point because I've understood through the reading of it that I've done that it's like the holy grail of employing people is getting consistent professional results out of average, ordinary people. And the fellow that I've got employed is he's a good bloke, he's honest, he's 100% honest, he's reliable, and he's a good worker. You never catch him sitting down bludgeon, but he's got no hand skills whatsoever. Absolutely nothing.
He hasn't had that trait.
Sure.
He grew up without his father. He's had no hands-on ability, and he only just actually arrived in Australia a week before starting to work for me, from a non-English speaking background. So that's been. I've had to start systemising things, even down to labelling me toolboxes with a numbering code. You know, there's box
Yeah,
A1,
right.
there's B1, and so that I can, when I go to tell him to get something out of the thing, it's box B1.
Yeah.
That's where it is. So that in itself is, that's probably the first system
Yeah.
that I've started to implement on the job. I've never needed systems when I've worked on myself
Of
because
course
I've just,
not. Yeah.
but it, even just that one little thing just made it so much easier to get, because I was always going back to my toolbox to get something and it wasn't in the right box.
Yeah.
And it'd been, and then I was wasting a lot of time with that.
Yeah.
Even just looking for little bits and pieces that were stuck in the wrong place.
Yeah.
But such a basic, simple starting point, and yet it's made a big difference.
Yeah, great example. Because systems, you always want systems before team. So your team are operating your system. So that's a mindset shift you've taken there and said, I need a system for this. So you're not blaming your staff, you're saying the system's not working, let's fix the system and then let your people operate the system. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
When I was in Moree, I did a little bit of TAFE teaching for a while, and I was teaching school kids. It was year 9 and 10 school kids. And of course, with your year 9 and 10 kids, and then you'd go down the street and you'd see some of them working at Macca's and at KFC and all those places. It surprised me because McDonald's used to get the dregs of them. They were the ones that didn't listen very well in the class, and and I thought, what is wrong with McDonald's that they get these? And when I actually started this and through the E-Myth, and it's actually not what's wrong with McDonald's, it's what's right with McDonald's.
Yeah.
The business is so well systemised that they don't need skilled staff. They can make do with the ones that no one else will take.
Sure.
Because, and I thought, you wouldn't know they were the kids that they were when you go into McDonald's as a customer.
Because you get a great outcome every
You get
time.
the same outcome every time anyhow.
Yeah.
And with Dennis, that's my employee, because I know his attitude's good, when he stuffs something up or something's not right, I know that actually it's not him, it's me. And that's probably another big challenge.
It's a real awakening, that, isn't it?
It's a real awakening, because you've got to be able to look back at yourself and say, what can I do?
Sure.
Because if I get someone like this that hasn't got a good attitude,
That's difficult.
that's really difficult, you know, when you got to sort of, you don't know whether it's him or you. This is the situation that's come up with me, you know, like, and I've thought, well, actually, for starters, I was wondering whether I really should have looked around and got another tradie to start with, employer. And actually, no, I probably started this the right way.
Good, great. So, business goals, are you able to share what your current goal for your business is?
My current goal for my business, I'm going to forget about other locations and focus on me location where I've chosen to.
Yeah, great. Which is?
Uralla and Walker, local government areas.
Yeah.
I want to try and, I've only thought of this in the last couple of weeks, but I want to try and communicate with the Walker Shire Council to see if we can't start bringing in a bit of the city retreat people, getting out of the city. I just remember seeing Gloucester, the way Gloucester went once that happened. Tree changes. A lot of people will do that to the Gloucester area, but not everyone wants to put up with 47-degree summers. And Walker's got nice mild summers. So, you know, we can possibly start attracting some of that market.
There's been a few environmental issues down around Gloucester as well that some people aren't happy with.
No, that's right.
Too, so.
Yeah. So you want to build a real presence in that Uralla Walker market as being a dominant new home builder in that market.
Yeah. And if I can attract the tree changes, I won't be the only beneficiary of that market.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I don't really want to be. I'd like to share it around with, you know, if there's a couple of other builders end up doing very well out of it, good, you know, good for them too.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the goals. I'd like to be able to take on buy, 20 acres on the edge of town and do my own subdivision. If I can get to that point, and it's a goal, it'll sit in the back of my mind.
Excellent, yeah. Well, as long as the goal's out there, you can continue to map out the action to achieve that. So.
Can't have a dream come true if you don't have a dream.
Yeah, that's exactly right, yeah.
Yeah, and, well, yeah, so if it's been a dream.
Yeah.
We need to convert it to a goal, which means that we'll start working on it.
Yeah.
There's a few things that got to happen before I can really put the wheels in motion. But the thing I've got on my side there is that the Walkershire is very progressive. They're one of the very few local governments around that have got money to burn.
Yeah, really sort of flying under the radar in a lot of ways, so there could be a lot of opportunity.
And I think it's a pleasant area to live.
Sure.
I know it's brown at the moment, but everywhere is. But,
yeah. Yeah, good. Well, thanks for coming in this afternoon. I hope you can get an award this evening, and if not, we'll focus our efforts on getting one in the bag next year.
Yeah, well, that's right. I'm about to start another bathroom, and I don't know just how it'll go. It's a disabled bathroom one, so but at the same time, that's still me.
Yeah, of course. Plenty of demand for them.
Thank you for your help in all this too.
Oh, pleasure. Yeah, enjoy every minute of it.
Good.
All right.